we're getting into the stage of collaboration. So the first stage of this was just to enlighten our lead gen and conversion case study members to the fact that free organic lead generation is very, very viable. If you're consistently creating content on Craigslist, Marketplace, Facebook groups, you're blogging, you're feeding your YouTube channel, then these leads are going to come in very, very consistently. If they're not going to come in daily, then they're going to come in several days a week. And so that's powerful, right? That's very, very good for our business. The problem is there's some technical things. There's some learning curves to get through to get to this phase where you're consistently lead generating. And for most agents, that's tough, right? There are some things that keep folks from really getting into this and getting into this in a consistent, making this a consistent part of their schedule, because they simply just don't know how to do it, right? They just don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to manage this, and it's overwhelming, right? So you're just in this kind of paralysis by analysis mode, and it's normal. So we need to recognize that, but we also need to recognize just the power of collaboration. Okay. So I want to make sure, like, Bert and Kathy, y'all are on the call this morning. So y'all are in a prime position to really make some magic happen in our training rooms. Okay. So well, let me first say this. So while I was out of town in Orlando, I made a post in the ecosystem about Matt Muncher and Devin Kramer kind of taking a lead role. So Matt Muncher being kind of in a lead role in the North Central division of our company, and then Devin Kramer taking a leadership role on the coast. Devin is he's got a YouTube channel. He's working on creating videos. He's learned how to use YouTube. He's learned how to create YouTube thumbnails. Matt Muncher's doing all these community spotlights. He's deep into YouTube. He's starting to generate his own leads without me doing it for him, which is really, really powerful and exciting. He and his real estate team partner, this would be good for y'all to hear, Bert and Kathy, are coming up with call shifts. So, they're dividing up call shifts, whether it be a morning call shift, an afternoon call shift, who calls on what days. So kind of an agent on duty, lead management system. So they're getting called by multiple people. What's, I think, powerful about the Bert and Kathy situation is that it's male and female. And Matt and Adam's team is two males. So they're going to run into some areas, and they're actually adding a female team member soon. But until that happens, they may have a problem, relating to some of their clientele, because sometimes women just want to work with women. Sometimes men want to work with females. I know I am prone to working with females just because I feel like a lot of times they're more professional, they're more mature, they're more organized. There's just a lot of benefits there for working with women, and there's a comfort level that comes with a husband and wife team. There's a trust factor that comes with a husband and wife team, so it's really, really powerful. But I think y'all have also, and I've been trying to instill this in many agents within our ranks, is the leadership component of this, and leading by example and getting other agents excited about this, excited about generating leads, excited about building a sales pipeline that feeds them, 2+ deals a month, in addition to other lead sources. So my point is, the more that you guys can get involved in this and get involved in Boomtown and the Boomtown training, how to use the system, and then get into a place where you're consistently creating content, it's really, really powerful. So like the one video that I did with y'all, you're not going to see a whole lot from that until there are more videos. Okay, there's more videos coming out. There's some blogs getting written in addition to things that we're posting on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. There's a lot of free classified sites where you can post things, and some are specific to a specific segment of the market. So you might have a classified site that's dedicated to farms and horse properties, and then another one that's dedicated to like mobile homes. So you need to look for all those groups on Facebook and join as many of them as you can, so that you can post your properties to those specific groups that specialize in those specific segments of the market. So it's really, really a big opportunity there. So as also I put in that post that I got put in Facebook jail. I don't know if that's because I'm bouncing around from multiple different accounts and Facebook's going, whoa, what's going on here? Or whether it was just because I was over posting. But I'm completely, at the moment, I'm completely banned from Facebook Marketplace. So, this is a situation where y'all are going to pick up the torch and start running with this and start posting to your own Facebook Marketplace. And so if you don't know how to do that, then you need to know, okay, who else is in this program with me that I can reach out to help me walk me through this process. So you could go to the ecosystem, the JPAR Strong ecosystem, and one of y'all could make a post that says, hey, who's a whiz at Facebook Marketplace? Who's in the Fairhope office, consistently, that's a whiz at Facebook Marketplace? Or who's in the Fairhope office occasionally that's a whiz at Facebook Marketplace that can sit down with Kathy and I and show us how to do this. And then the same with Craigslist. I also want to remind agents. I had to remind another agent this morning on a coaching call. We were talking about attorneys and just how profitable a niche that is for real estate agents to embed themselves, to prospect consistently to local attorneys. And just reminded her that there's likely a full library of training videos on how to do this on YouTube. So self-education is a big part of this. But in terms of being successful with the implementation of this, that's where the collaboration factor comes into play. And so, all we're doing is we're playing off the success of small groups in the with these church families around the nation. Just think about how impactful small groups are at the local church you attend, or small groups you've attended in the past, just all the goodness that came out of that. And so all we're doing here is we're applying that to real estate agent technology. And here's the facts, okay? Real estate industry technology is not going to stop advancing. Social media, not going anywhere, okay? So these elements of the business are really, really important. And, what you focus on expands. And I think it's really, really powerful just think about, this is true, right, Bert? Think about how many agents over the age of 50 or 58. I mean, the average age of a real estate agent right now is 58. But how many older agents that they've just kind of washed their hands of technology and, online lead generation, because they just figure, hey, I've got 5 or 10 more years left of this, and I can do it on a traditional basis until then, or I'm too old to learn a new trick, or whatever the case may be. So I think y'all have the power to lead a movement by, getting into this and getting excited about it and getting passionate about it and becoming really, for lack of a better term, obsessed with learning and educating yourself how to do this. The beautiful part of this, what you're going to find is that you've overcomplicated it. Like, it's really user friendly, and it's like muscle memory. Okay, so it's like learn how to ride a bike. You get in to a lot of this stuff becomes habit, becomes instinctual, You got to know where to put this, where to put that, how to do this, how to post that. And it takes repetition. Okay. It takes consistency to get this off the ground and to keep the machine running. But I think that's the exciting part of what y'all are going to find is that it's user friendly and it can be fun. And it can especially be fun when your business is growing exponentially based on the efforts that you're doing. I mean, that's what happened with me, right? I was not into technology, naturally into technology. I'm not a techie person at all. I get made fun of by my kids for not being able to figure stuff out with my car or my iPhone, but I know enough to be very, very, very dangerous. And my point here is, I'm just going to hammer this one home, is that you do not have to be a tech whiz to do this. It just seems daunting right now because anything we don't know seems, or know how to do is daunting to us until it's not. So we just have to make an effort to get into it. Now, in addition to encouraging y'all to create small groups, and I wanted to make this a point. This is a really important point. So while I was out of town, made that post, and then Matt Muncher commented and said, "Oh gosh," or what did he say? Yeah, I would be more than happy to meet with anybody. Y'all just reach out to me as needed. Great offer, right? He meant it. He was like, I'm willing to help anybody that needs it. Just reach out to me and I'm there for you. Well, here's what I know. Okay. That doesn't work. Okay. That works as well as asking somebody at a funeral if there's anything you can do for them after the loss of a loved one. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do for them. And there's nothing they're going to let you do for them. Okay. So you just have to do it. You just have to do it. So, where Matt Muncher would be better served as a mentor is going, hey, I'm putting together a small group session at the office, next Tuesday from 10 to 11. If you want to learn how to get your YouTube channel up and running, meet me there then. So that's what you got to do. In addition to that, in both of our primary office locations, we have this JWRE mentorship team is growing rapidly. And you've got folks that you can go up there and embed yourselves with to see what they're doing, how they're doing it, how they're managing their Boomtown database, how they're processing their leads, how they're setting up e-alerts, all that kind of stuff, just listening to them make calls. And that's another thing. The next thing I've got on my list here is the script call. Okay. So we do the morning script call 4 days a week. And it's really hard for me. That's like a small group. All right. That meets 4 mornings a week. And you don't have to get on there every morning, but I'm continually posting graphics and trying to get agents to get on this. We should have agents that are in the case study, whatever they're doing or not doing, we should all be encouraging more of our agents to get on this call every morning. This conversion of internet leads, it's not the same as realtor.com, OpCity, Zillow. These are not warm transfer leads. These are warm leads. I wouldn't say that they're cold. They're warm, slightly warm. Okay. And so it takes twice as much effort to convert these to a member of your contact list as it does to people that already know, like, and trust you, that know, like, and trust factor already exists. So you got to learn how to talk to these people. It is crucially important to master the language of sales. It's not something that you know on your own. It's something that you have to learn. It's an acquired skill. So no matter what your past experience is, you need to be on these calls to learn how to handle these objections, get these people talking more, establish it as a business call, and then get into the process of building a relationship through the acronym FORD as an example. So asking people questions related to family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. All right. So script call. Let's just recap real quick. All right. We need to be creating content consistently. We need to be time blocking. I talked about this in this post as well. Scheduling. So Bert, how many have you set a schedule? So just answer this honestly. I know you have to. As a pastor, you have to tell the truth. How many days this week, no, here's the first question. Have you set a schedule with time blocks on it? Do you have a schedule that is time blocked? You're mute. You're muted. You're muted. You can shake your head. You can do this or this.
I have tried. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I have tried.
Okay.
I have not been very successful at it. And it seems as though every time I get started, somebody interrupts me with a question or a problem or something.
Yeah. So what I would do, so I'll be down this week, Thursday and Friday. I'm sure I'll have some time for us to get together and talk about that. But what it's going to take is for you to implement systems and processes, okay? And educating our agents on when you're available. So you might have broker office hours. So I would have, right now, you need a time block for Florida. We need that Florida reciprocal broker's license like tomorrow. I would be time blocking for prospecting. I would be time blocking for content creation. I'd be time blocking for office hours for broker questions, and then close your door and let's get a sign made. I mean, we can get a sign, we can print one on the printer and laminate it and stick it to your door that says, do not disturb prospecting in progress, or do not disturb, you're on a call, something to that effect, to keep people from knocking on your door so you can get this done. Do not disturb studying for my Florida, reciprocal license, things like that. So it's important for us to set the example. Hey, I run my business like a business, which means I've got blocks of time that are scheduled for specific activities. One of those specific activities would be showings and appointments. So designing a schedule will be super, super important, because your schedule, you can sync your Google Calendar with your phone. And so it's all right here. What am I supposed to be doing right now today? It's right here. My phone is telling me what I need to be doing. And if it's not on your schedule, it doesn't exist. You don't do it unless your schedule tells you need to be doing it. Now, this is kind of off my agenda, but I think it's so important, because people look at this and go, well, I got into real estate to be free. I wanted to be free of my schedule. I worked at an industry or an occupation or a position or a career that had all this structure, and I love being in real estate because there is no structure. But that's the problem in real estate. It's a big benefit that draws people. Flexibility is a big reason why people get into real estate, but you cannot be flexible and make a fortune. Okay. That's just a fact. If you want to just fly by the seat of your pants and go wherever the breeze takes you from day to day, then you're going to be flexible, but you're not going to be real fortunate in terms of the monetary availability here, the monetary opportunities that exist day to day. And by having less freedom during the day, you're going to gain a lot more freedom in your personal life, in off the clock, after hours, on the weekends. There's going to be a lot more money to do a lot more things. Money creates freedom. Okay. And so there's going to be a lot of cases where you're going to be able to gain back time. You're going to earn back time that you didn't have. And at the same time, you're going to be building an exponentially large business. One of the things I'd put on that. So one of the reasons people don't get on the script call is because they don't. I think you should be examining your calendar in the evening, sometime before you go to bed, and first thing when you get up. Okay. Just keeping your mind wrapped around what you need to be doing on a daily basis. But a big reason why a lot of our agents aren't on the morning script call is because their phone's not telling them to get on the script call. So their phone's not sending them a notification that says, hey, got 5 or 10 minutes till the script call starts. Need to get on it. So the problem, why agents aren't consistent, all right? So the calendar The schedule is the ultimate tool to keep you consistent, to keep you running your business like a business. But agents don't have calendars set up. You didn't live and die by your calendar last week. You're not doing it this week. Hopefully you can start doing it next week. But that's a big thing to implement. So I just want you to see also how the leading by example. And so once you start implementing some of the things that I teach, like you got to listen to Hannah and Ashley. They're consistently saying, like, we've ignored things that Jason has taught us to do literally for years. They're just now starting to implement some things I've been teaching them, trying to teach them how to do for years and years and years. And they're like, oh, we didn't listen to you, but now we're listening to you. So I get that people have to get to a place where they're sick and tired of being sick and tired before they start really taking steps to improve their situation. But it's a shame that it has to come to that. So I want people in our brokerage to see that whether they have a title or not, they're a leader, or they have the opportunity to lead. And you can lead people in a positive way, and you can lead people in a negative way. And the agents that are not running their businesses like a business, even if it's a side hustle. I mean, if it's a side hustle, it doesn't mean you don't have to take it seriously. It doesn't mean you don't have to be a professional. It doesn't mean you don't have to learn and educate yourself and learn the contracts and all that. Be mindful of the legalities of the industry and, fair housing and all that stuff. I mean, you're in a profession, whether how many hours you spend in this profession should not dictate how seriously you take it or how much expertise you develop. That's an incredible talking point that should be repeated over and over. So scheduling is going to keep you consistent with content creation, posting ads, renewing Craigslist ads, posting blogs, adding content to your YouTube channel. I know when I just rattle it off like that, it probably makes your brain swell. You're like, oh my God. I mean, he's crazy if he thinks we're going to be able to learn how to do all this, much less do it consistently. But I promise you will be. But we've got to implement some of these foundational steps before it'll happen. So that's basically all I had on my main list of top priorities to talk about is scheduling, small groups, JWRA team immersion, getting those, going upstairs and going, hey, who's got a minute to show me something with Boomtown? Because this is an incredibly powerful system. It has an opportunity to generate leads, as you guys have seen. Those leads need to be consistently called. You guys are not going to see any results or much results from this until you get your touches up to 15. I don't know if y'all saw the graphic I posted in the ecosystem, a tale of two agents. One of those was one of our agents in our case study who had, made one attempt to dial, had sent one email, one text message. And then you had another agent who had multiple, was sending tons of emails, text messages, logging lots of phone calls. And that's the way this happens. All right. So that's where the magic happens. We're in a contact sport. We're tasked with communicating with people daily. We're in the people business over the real estate business. So that's, in closing, this is where I want this to kind of go to, where we can stop talking, or we can start talking less about the technical side of this and get more into the collaborative side of this. Sharing scripts and dialogues that work, sharing objection handlers that work, things that we're learning on the script call that are working, good things that are coming out of small groups. We need to, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but like the agents under our care and leadership, they have to see it before they believe it. They have to see it multiple times in some cases before they believe it. So they got to hear an agent say multiple times that they've closed a deal from Craigslist before they go, maybe I'll give this Craigslist thing a shot. It seems like it's working for agents. That's where that's where the mindset of a lot of our agents is. the other thing is the last thing, promise, market shift. Things are getting tighter and tougher out there. So these skills that we're developing are vital to building a business that is indestructible, that cannot be stifled by changes in the market. It's just new opportunities and new approaches. That's really all it is. All right. Any questions before I let y'all go? So what I would, yeah.
I don't have any questions. I understand exactly what you're asking.
All right. Well, so just to keep engaging with me at a high level, ask me questions, work on starting small groups, just put me in where you need to put me in, or ask for support where you need support. But man, can you imagine like these daily, if we had daily / weekly, or there was just consistent gatherings of agents in the office. Maybe they're sitting around the table downstairs. Maybe they're sitting around the table upstairs, and they're just sharing ideas. Okay. I want to tell y'all this too. I mean, that's where we were. And that's where we want to get back to, is like, that's what made our culture so attractive, is that agents were constantly supporting each other and working with each other and collaborating with each other. And this is the kind of market that we're in where that is needed. And it's not happening at any other brokerage. It's every man and woman for themselves. And we need to come together. We need to lock arms and we need to make this happen. But it's not going to happen until we start, more of us, the majority of us, start saying things, encouraging words of let's get together. Hey, I'm going to be working with, so let's say, Bert, you go up and ask somebody for help, and they say, oh yeah, I'll help you, but tomorrow, how about tomorrow at 2 sound? You're like, all right, let me check my schedule. Oh, that works for me. Hey, is it okay if I invite some other people? You might say, well, I'm meeting with this agent upstairs, Fairhope training room. They're going to be showing me this tomorrow at 2 p.m. Who else wants to join us? So inviting people in, and being very, very inclusive with this. All right. And it takes time. It takes time to build this. But as with anything in real estate, we cannot react to it. We have to go towards it. It's a contact sport. We got to make the contact. Okay. All right. See y'all soon. Be in town soon. Bye.